Hi, how's it going, guys? Hope you're all doing well. In today's video, I'll show you how to build a React slider component that you can publish on NPM for others to use. So if we jump into my Adobe XD here, this is a basic slider component that I've designed, and this is what we'll be building out in our React application. So as you can see, it's a basic list of three card components. And to do this, we'll just be passing along an array to our slider component with a list of objects that consist of images and descriptions and headings. And that's pretty much it. And then later on in the video, we'll be publishing this as a package on NPM. So first things first, I've got a basic folder here that I've set up called React Card slider. And in that, I'll create my new React application. So I'll go ahead and run npx create React app. I'll call it React slider. So my application has been created. I'll just cd into the project that I've just created here, which is in this folder, React slider. Then I'll open this in my VS Code. Then I'll go ahead and run my application. And this should just bring up the default React page with the React logo spinning. Okay, so this is what we get. Then I'll just remove the default content in my app.js file. Let's see what the CSS is like here. So I'll just go ahead and remove all of this. I'll just have an empty div component, and then in my app.css, I'll keep this color, but I'll delete everything else. I'll just change the body color. Okay, so we should have that. And then in my source folder, I'll just go ahead and add a new folder, call it components. And it'll just be one component that we'll add here, which will be React, call it card slider. And then in here, I'll also add a CSS file called slider.css. Then in my React card slider JSX file, I'll import React. Then I'll go ahead and write out my component, which will be React card slider. And export that. Then I'll import it in my app.js file. So we should just be having this basic text here. Let me just center this content. Let me give this an ID, call it body. And anything in my app.js file is not really necessary. What we'll be focusing on will be just the React card slider. So this ID body, this won't be included in the official package. The only thing we'll be publishing is what's going to be in this file here and the slider.css file. So I just want the content to be centered. So to do that, I'll just give my body div a width of 100% and a height of 100% as well. Then display flex, then everything will just be centered. There we go. Now, back in my React card slider, first thing I'll need will be a main div, and this will be, let's call this main slider container. And we'll give this a width of, let's say, 100%. And a height of, let's say, 210 pixels. Let's give it a background color just to see how it comes out. Now, we need to import the CSS in here. Can't resolve slider.css. Okay. There we go. So back to my body. Let's maybe okay. So maybe let's decrease the width a bit. Let's make it 90%. Okay, there we go. Let's see. How big are these cards? Let's make the height 300. Okay, there we go. And then in here, we'll have 3 divs. So there'll be one for the left icon, which will be this icon here, and then another one on this side, and then another div, which will be our actual slider. So we'll have 1, 2, 3. Let's make this class. Let's call it left slider icon, or rather just slider icon. Then we'll add the word left to it. Okay, there we go. And then this will be, let's see, slider. Yep, and that will be our main slider. So for our slider, let's give that some styling. And the width will be 100% of our main slider width, so it will also be 90%, but it will be the full width of this main slider container. And then height, yeah, 100% as well. Okay, let's see, background color. Let's make this one black. Okay, cool. I think we can remove that for now. Then for our icons, let me install React icons. So this will be a required package as well. So if you do install this package later on after we publish it on NPM, it will be a requirement as well. So it will install it along with this package. And while that is installing, just copy that. And for my icon, I'll head over to the material design icon and get the chevron left and chevron right. And that will be empty. Okay, that's installed. Let's just run again. And in that case, I think I can rename this instead to MD chevron left instead of the div, and then this will be the right. Okay, so there we go. So that, let's just style that. So slider icon, let's see, let me give it a size here actually. Let's make it 40 for both of them. Okay, then let's see, background color, let's give it a white background color and border radius 100%, and position absolute left 0, and let's just copy that. This will be for the left one. And then for our right icon, that will be on the right side. Left out there. Okay, that should fix it. Okay, there we go. So as you can see, things are a bit off right now, and that's due to the fact that our main slider container has no position on it. So let's fix that by adding some styling to that as well. So position, we'll make it relative, and then we'll add a display flex. Then everything will be center aligned. Okay, there we go. Okay, then I'll just paste that in there. And then for our icons, I'll just add an opacity, let's say 0.2. And then when we hover over it, that's when we'll display the full opacity. Okay. Now for our, what do you call, our main slider here, which is this section here, what we'll be doing is we'll be passing along a prop to our cut slider. In this case, I'll just create a variable for it. Let me call it slides. Then I'll just pass in maybe, let's make it 6 or 8 slides for now. So 1, 2, yeah, 6, 8 slides. And then in here, I'll just say slides.map. And this will be a slide, and then index. And then for each slide, we'll return a slider component, which will, or a card component rather, which will be this card here. What's missing here? Oh, okay. Okay, there we go. And then I'll give this a class, call it slide, slider card. And let's see, so each slider card will have a width of, let's make it 320 pixels and a height of let's say 300 pixels. Background, make it white, and then a border radius of 10 pixels. So as you can see, everything just comes underneath each other. To fix that, let me just select my one slider card there, and then I'll edit display inline box or inline block, sorry. Now we have 8 cards here, but as you can see, we still have the issue of everything coming underneath each other. To fix that, we'll select this main slider component, or not the main slider component, sorry, this div here, so which is the slider div. And what we'll do there is just add a word wrap, white space, and then it'll be, what is this now, wrap. Okay, so that should kind of put everything horizontally. I'll just copy that and I'll edit there. Now we have everything overflowing all the way to the left, but it's outside our main component, our main, our main slider component. As you can see, everything overflows outside. So to fix that, we'll just add an overflow. Not on this one, sorry, it'll be on the slider. So if I just add an overflow X on that, I'll make it scroll, that should fix that. Then I'll just copy that as well onto my slider. And then for my actual slider card, I'll add a margin left of 5 pixels and a margin right of 5 pixels as well. Okay, and then I'll just remove this gray background on my main slider. Okay, just remove that. I'll also add a box shadow to my cards, say maybe 5 pixels. Actually, now let me change the background color here, my body. Okay, let's change it to that. Where did I put this? Oh, app.css. Okay. Then for my box shadow, let me just fix this. Just decrease the opacity a bit, and I think size is also a bit much. Maybe make it 2 pixels. Okay, that's slightly better. Okay, so that's slightly better. Then I'll just get the RGBA of that. I'll copy that. There we go. Now maybe we should add the box shadow to our icons as well. So I'll go ahead and copy this and add it to my left and right icon. And then For cursor, I'll add the pointer. Okay, then maybe increase the opacity a bit. Seems a bit too light. Okay, that should fix that. And then here at the bottom, things seem to be a bit cut out. So what I'll do is I'll increase the height for my main slider container. There we go. Maybe just 305 or something. Cool. So next thing, I'll disable this horizontal scroll bar. And this will be on, yeah, it'll be on the slider. So for Chrome, what I'll do is just call WebKit, scroll bar, then display. I think it's none. And that should fix that on Chrome. But we should still have the same issue on what is this, Mozilla. Oh, Firefox. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, so as you can see on Safari, we still have the scroll bar issue. So to remove that on Safari, we'll just call scroll bar width. Yeah, scroll bar width, none as well. Oh, that's at the wrong place. It should be here. And that should fix it. And then lastly, what we should do is that when a user clicks here or on the left, we should scroll either left or right. So we'll just add a function in our React card slider. So we'll add an on click for both the left icon and the right icon. And we'll call it slide left, then slide right. Then we'll get our slider ID. We'll just call document.getElement by ID. Then this will be slider. And then to slide it to the left, so this will be our left slider. So when when a user clicks the left slider, let me just slide right is not defined. Let me just define that first. Yeah. Okay. So when the user clicks here, it should slide to the right, and then when the user clicks here, it should slide to the right, to the left. So to do that, we'll just say slider dot scroll left equals the current scroll left plus maybe 500 more. So what we're basically doing here is adding 500 pixels or scroll 500 pixels to the left, and then for the right side we'll just minus 500 pixels. So now if I click on the left here, as it is moving, but it's not really smooth. And then if I click on this side, it's also moving, but also not smooth. And then to fix that, you just come back to your slider.css and then add scroll behavior, and it will be smooth. And then now if I click here, as you can see, now the scrolling is extra smooth. Now lastly, our array should actually be an object with images and some descriptions and stuff, and perhaps a function that should be executed when you click on a certain card. So first let's design this. Let's call it slider card image. And width will be 100%. Height, let's see. Let's just check if this is actually responsive. So yeah, it should be responsive. It will remain 90% width of the screen, and then the rest will just be overflowed. Okay. So height is 200 pixels. Let me just add a background in the meantime. So we'll add a border radius top left and right. Of how many pixels? I think it's 10 pixels, is it? Yeah, 10 pixels. Oops. Okay, there we go. Maybe we change this to and then here we'll have the card title. And lastly, the card description. Let's see how we style this. Let's first fix the margins. So margin top for both of them, let's make it maybe 5 pixels and see how that comes out. And then right 0 pixels, bottom 5 pixels as well, and then left 10 pixels. Ooh. Oh. Cool. Maybe we add a little bit more on the top. 10 pixels, cool. And then for the title, font weight 500, and then card description. opacity, make it 50. Font size 13 pixels perhaps. Then we can adjust the margin top on that one. Let's put that back at 5. And for the card title, make it 10 pixels. Still low. Actually, I'm not too sure on that, but I think it should be fine. Okay, maybe it should be fine, I think. So for our card, let's just add slider card with slider card. Let's just add a cursor and pointer. So for each card, it will be a clickable event. And let me just get random images online. Okay, I think something along those lines should work. So now I can change this to an object, say image. Title. Then description. Then that should leave us with one card. Then for the card title, I'll just replace that with slide dot title. Logo. No, it's that logo there. So just to fix this error here, I'll need to pass this key property, which will be the index. Then that should fix that. Cool. And card description. And then for the image, I'll just add a style. Slide dot, what do I call it? Image. Double brackets. And there we go, that should fix that. Okay, seems to be coming along well. And then let's just add additional objects here. Okay. Thought it was supposed to be generating like random images or something. But anyway, let me make this a different image. Let's see, 600, 500. Okay. Cool. Let's add a few more images. For this one, let's say 800 by 7, then 300. Okay, and there we go. So we've got a bunch of images on our slider now. Then the last thing, so we can I think maybe we can increase the height of our image a bit. Okay, let's do that. This background size would actually have to be here. Okay, that looks a lot better. And I think we'll probably use this as a screenshot for the package. So let me just screen grab that. Cool. Let me move this. And this will be props.slides. Then in my React card slider, I'll pass along slides as a property. And then perhaps we have a function as well, so that when a user clicks on each card, it should run some sort of function. So We'll have title, description, image. What do we call this? Let's say click event. Yeah, I think click event is fine. Okay, let's first alert hello world. So click event will be an event basically, and I'll pass this along on each slide object. So this will go on each slide object. So if the user decides to click on a card, or they don't want to click here, this will be props dot what is it? HTTP slide dot click event. Is it? Yeah. Slider is not defined. Where is this? app.js. Oh, it should be slider click. Sorry about that. So this will be any function that you create that you want to pass along here. Okay, that should fix that. And instead of popping up, what we'll do is make that a function. So it will only be called when you click on it. Crap. Okay, there we go. So now when I click on a specific card, it shows hello world. Now to publish this on NPM as a package, you can follow the steps outlined on this article here by a person called JB. I'll share this link in the description as well. We can skip through most of this part because it goes over building the actual component. If we come on the step here, step 2, installing Babel, well, we'll go ahead and copy this npm installs. Okay, and then after that one, we'll go ahead and run the next install. Then moving on, we need to create a file called babel.config.json. So we'll go ahead and copy this bit of code and paste it into this Babel file. And then next thing, we'll need to replace the build script with this command here. So if you go into your package.json and go to, where is this? In the script section. So where you have this build script, we'll replace that with this command. And then, so here where we have source /lib, we'll replace that with our component path. So it'll be source /components. And we only have one component in here, which is the React card slider. So if you had several of them, you would have to be specific as to which component exactly you're targeting. And save that. And then we can run npm run build. Okay, now as you can see, after running our build, this distribution file or folder has been created, which has all the two files that we want to publish to npm, which is the React card slider and the slider.css file. Okay, you can close that. And then lastly, before you publish, make sure you have all the details correct in your package.json. So the author name, description, the name of the card, and then add your repository URL as well, and keywords. Also, what you should add as well is the files that you want to publish. So in this case, it will be the distribution folder, which is that one there, and the readme.md file as well. And then once you are happy with that, you can go ahead and run npm publish. So React card component has been published and it's version 1.0.6. Now if I go onto npm and view my React card slider, I should have version 1.0.6 uploaded, and then I can try and install this. And then I'll go ahead and follow the steps here to use my component. So I'll first import it. So now instead of importing it from my components folder, I'm importing the package from my npm, from my node modules. So if I open my node modules folder and scroll all the way to the bottom, it should be somewhere here. And there it is there. So there's the React card slider package in my node modules. So now if I run npm start, I should get the same result. I think we might have left out a few things. So here we need to copy these two lines as well, the main and module. So I'll go ahead and add that. And then I'll replace this index.js with this React card slider.js file that's in the distribution folder that's created. Let's just see if we're missing anything else. Okay, we have files. Cool. So we'll just run npm run build again. And then just change the version. and then run npm publish. And then we can just run npm install again to install our package. And hopefully that should fix the error. And there we go. So that fixes that.